Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Langerr at the mic. This was supposed to be a live episode, but was having a little bit too many technical difficulties, but I still wanted to make a video. So I decided to pre-record this and I'll upload it after. So this will be a Habs versus Philadelphia Flyers preview show. And then also stay tuned for a Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully, that will be a live Dallas Cowboys training camp slash press conference day recap, if you will. A lot of news today between the Canadians and Cowboys, and the NHL and MLB and NFL and sports in general, which makes this really fantastic and maybe this part of 2020 isn't so bad after all. But anyway, let's get right to it. We're in this particular video, we're gonna preview the Canadians versus Flyers, and yeah, let's just get right into it. So, like I tried to say in the in my other live videos, as I mentioned, is this series will show what the Habs are really made of. This series will show whether that Habs versus Penguins series was about the Penguins being really bad or about the Canadians being really good. Because if the Montreal Canadiens can handle the Philadelphia Flyers and maybe even not even beat them, but even take them to 6, 7 games and maybe beat them, that means that Carey Price is playing out of this world. That means Carey Price is still fantastic and the best goalie in the world. That means that Shea Weber and Ben Sherratt and Jeff Petrie and Brett Kulak are a legitimate top four defense group. That means that Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Nick Suzuki are for real, and the time is absolutely now for them. That means that Philip Deneau is one of the best shutdown centers in the game, if not the best shutdown center in the game, without the offense, of course, but defensively, right? Yeah, we're gonna see if the Canadians are real for real right now. We're gonna see that in this series. So right now, I predicted that the Canadians would win seven. I'm going for that the Canadians are for real. I'm buying into it. I might end up being absolutely wrong and looking like an idiot, but I don't care. The same way that in my bracket, my previous episode, my bracket actually isn't looking really good right now because so far Carolina lost to Boston, which went to double overtime after that 5 overtime marathon game between Columbus and Tampa. At least I had that one right so far. So Tampa, I was right there. Washington, I'm not looking so good in that Washington series so far. Let's see. I called the Blackhawks to beat the Knights, which I'm not looking so good with either. Called Dallas to beat Calgary, so I'm not looking so good with my bracket so far. But you know what? These games are best of seven, so for a reason. So we'll see what it ends up being. But anyway, back to Habs Flyers. Now, if the Canadians are to beat the Flyers in 7 games, they will be for real. It's because the Canadians are actually for real, and because the Flyers, they earned that number one seed in the Eastern Conference right now. They earned it. They earned it by having one of the strongest forward groups by between Sean Couturier, Claude Giroux, between even the third line of between Nick Obkubel. We have to get used to pronouncing his name right. Just solid, top end talent on the forward group and good depth throughout. Defensively, between Matt Niskanen, even Provorov, Travis Sanheim, even a decent third pairing of Shane Gostisbehere and Justin Braun, and not to mention the kid Carter Hart, really solid goaltending, right? Flyers earned that number one seed, and the Canadians are gonna have their handful. Um, the fact that the Canadians were able to contain the Pittsburgh Penguins, but were still sort of outplayed early on, but then they got back into it. They got comfortable. They got their confidence up, and then they legitimately outplayed Pittsburgh in games 4 and 5. I don't know if that's going to be the case in this Philadelphia series. I don't know if that is the case where the Canadians do manage to outplay the Flyers. Again, it's because they're for real, but I don't know if that's going to happen. They're the Canadians tonight and for the series are going to have to keep up exactly what they've been doing in that series against Pittsburgh. They're going to have to play flawlessly like I've mentioned, the guys I mentioned before, Price, the top four defense, the centers are going to have to keep playing at that high level. And we're also going to have to start seeing better performances from Brendan Gallagher, or maybe not performance wise, but production. Not for Brendan Gallagher, because performance wise, he was there. He was hampered by his ankle injury, his leg injury, whatever it was, but he was still Brendan Gallagher. He's still playing, still playing gung ho his usual style. Brendan Gallagher is Brendan Gallagher, but we need to see him start scoring goals though. For the Flyers to win. Again, nothing against Brendan Gallagher. I'm just saying what it would take for the Canadiens to beat the Flyers. We need to start seeing goals and offensive production from Thomas Tatar. We need to see production from Yoel Armia, an even better version of Jonathan Drouin. So all this to say is the Canadiens are going to have to be the same way they were against Pittsburgh, if not even better, to beat the Philadelphia Flyers in a 7-game series. So that's why I look forward tonight. I'd say tonight the Flyers are going to come out flying. They're going to come out flying. They're going to possess the puck. They're gonna keep the Habs on their heels for most of the early part of the game. And Carey Price is gonna have to be Carey Price of the Pittsburgh series. He's gonna have to play at a very high level to contain the Flyers early on and for the most parts of the game. And we're gonna see how Claude Julien matches his lines. The Couturier, Giroux, and right now Farabi line we could see Voracek on that line, although I believe Voracek has been mostly a middle six guy in the Flyers lineup so far, even though he deserves a spot in the top lineup. But that's just the way that the Flyers have been rolling their forwards. And again, going up against Ale Vigneault, I think coaching wise is probably better than Mike Sullivan at this point. But anyway, we're gonna see how Claude Julien matches his lines. The Deneau, Byron, and Lehkonen line will probably draw the Couturier line, and we're gonna see how they handle that. And we're gonna see how they play defensively. And then the Suzuki line. That means the Suzuki and Kotkaniemi lines will get the Derek Grant and Kevin Hayes lines, and we'll see if maybe they can outplay them. We'll see if Suzuki and Kotkaniemi's lines can outplay them. They'll have to. If the Canadiens are going to stand a chance in the series. But we'll look for some more quote-unquote boring hockey if all goes well in the Canadiens' favor. You're going to have to look for some boring hockey of, not a lot of dangerous chances, maybe even not playing a lot in the Philadelphia end yet until, the Canadiens get the ball rolling a little bit and maybe get an opportunistic goal or two. Or maybe not until the third period. We'll see. But yeah, I do see the Canadiens forwards maybe, again, I would say the strong point of the Flyers is their forward group, absolutely. Not to say their defense is weak, right? But definitely their defense is better than the Pittsburgh defense. And but I still think the Canadiens forwards can give them a little bit of trouble. As in cycle the puck, as in forecheck, as in be hard to play against. Not to say that's going to translate to a lot of goals. It might. We'll see. It might translate to 1 or 2 goals, but the Canadiens have to give the Flyers defense fits or at least a hard time to have a chance. And then they're gonna have to just play almost hang on hockey that they've been playing in the first round against Pittsburgh for most of the first round until the 4th and 5th games to have a chance. And yeah, I would say. It's going to be an exciting series. We're going to see what this Canadiens team is made of. We're going to see we're going to find out a lot about this Montreal Canadiens team. And yeah, that'll be our preview for now. I'm not as animated as I was before with the technical difficulties when they slowed me down a little bit, but still just made the best of it and wanted to get this video out there. So thanks for your patience and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for for my Dallas Cowboys recap coming up. I'll try to make that live, and I'll make sure that the technical difficulties won't be there as much. And stay tuned for a post-game show. Stay tuned for the post-game show on my Twitter, at Mike Langerr, included in the description below, as usual. And if you like my commentary, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and give me a like on these videos. And yeah, thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time, and go Habs go.